Hey there, welcome back. I'm John, and thanks for checking out JohnKing Expedition. So here I am once again, back out on the Northeast Backcountry Discovery Route. I'm about 325 miles into my journey, and I'm happy to say that not once have I needed to turn around. Well, my luck is about to run out. More on that later. Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for joining me again as I begin Section 3 of the Northeast BDR. If this is the first time you're watching my videos, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy this series on the Northeast BDR. This is Section 3. I've done a series on Section 1 and Section 2 already, and hopefully you find that extremely helpful if you're planning a trip on the Northeast BDR with 4 wheels or 2 wheels. I know that this Northeast BDR was intended for 2 wheels, and from what I've seen of the first 2 sections, it has not been a problem at all for 4 wheels. The one thing I do want to emphasize on is if you do decide to take these routes or any routes of any of the places I've been to, once again, please be sure to leave it better than you found it. That's really important. We want all of these spaces to be open for all of us for the years to come. And most importantly, we don't want to leave a bad impression of who we are as a community, whether that's campers, overlanders, or even 2-wheelers that are tent camping. So this morning I start here at Copake State Park, and behind me you can see the campgrounds. It is March right now. Needless to say, it's pretty quiet, but it is a beautiful area. There's lots of campgrounds around here. I've got my good old reliable partner Scout dashing around. So the weather forecast for today is kind of mediocre. Definitely overcast skies all day. Temperatures are hovering right now in the low 40s. Expect them to possibly hit the low 50s. And then as we get toward the sunset, which should be around 5:30 p.m. up in Readsboro, Vermont, hopefully I'll make it there today. We'll see how that goes depending on what the trails look like. We're expecting rain to roll in. Needless to say, these weather conditions have not been exactly favorable. So we'll see what happens. Come on, back in the car. Let's go. Sit. Good girl. All right, let's get going. So as you head out of Copake Falls and you start taking Route 344 or Falls Road towards Massachusetts, you'll find that there are hiking trails that cross this road on several occasions. And the reason for that is there's a section here that's shared between New York and Massachusetts along the border, which is called Bish Falls. And you'll find parking areas along this road where you can hike in and check out the falls. Unfortunately, on this morning, I was just moving along because of the fog. All right, so here's the border right here, and as you can see, there's this cool little stone here on the New York-Massachusetts border. Looks like this was placed here in 1898. There's a beautiful classic home here. It's in the window. Alright, so I'm in Massachusetts right now, and I just hit this section of unpaved road, and it said that this road ahead at the Connecticut state line is closed until spring. Alright, so here it is. We've come to the border, and the road certainly is closed. Looks like I'm out of luck this time of year. It is March 6th, so I don't know when these roads open. It said the spring, so obviously I would say check the calendar if you're crossing this section from Massachusetts into Connecticut. When I returned to find a new way south to Connecticut, I came across Mount Washington State Park. This area was used by farmers in the 1700s during the fall season to make charcoal. In the 1800s, many of those local farmers made charcoal production a year-round routine to support the boom in local iron furnaces. Today, Mount Washington State Park is just a great place to have a picnic, go for a hike, or do some fishing. Way across the pond down there, looks like there's a beaver hard at work as well. Looks like also on the other side there's a canoe. I don't know if there's a little dock down there. Looks nice though, that's for sure. Alright, so I've come down Route 41 and I came into a town called Salisbury, and I decided at this point that I'm not going to backtrack over to where the road was closed. So plain and simple, I've made a left and I'm headed east on Cobble Road, and it looks like I'm headed into State Route 44, where I'm going to be making a left here and probably headed east or north, probably northeast is my guess. All right. About 20 miles from Mount Washington State Forest, where the charcoal was once made, I came upon Beckley Furnace. Beckley Furnace, located in East Canaan, Connecticut, is a historic iron blast furnace that operated from 1847 to 1919. It played a significant role in the industrial history of the region, producing pig iron used in various industries such as railroads and munitions during the Civil War. Today, Beckley Furnace is a preserved historic site and a reminder of the area's industrial heritage. So I finally find the sign I've been looking for. What do you think? Coming up the mountain here. We're at about 1,400 feet elevation, and I'm no more than like 200 yards from the top of the mountain. And then another mile after that with a slight degrade, looks like where the road is that I'm trying to get to. So not planning on turning around because came all the way up. So we'll see how we do. All right, so here we go. Put this Ryobi to work. A little bit of use. I got it for about 2 years now. So we're gonna put this to work. See, Scout's clearly found her path, but we gotta get the Jeep through here. So it's gonna be a bit of work, but good work. It's all part of the trip. So after having some fun clearing the tree out of the way, I continued down the trail and I had only about a half mile to go. Prior to cutting the tree down, I decided to hike ahead just to make sure that I had no additional obstacles that I was going to be dealing with, especially with limited battery power on the chainsaw. After I came down the trail, I came to the road with Beartown State Forest. Quickly, I had realized that once again, I had come to a seasonal gate and I would not be able to pass through Beartown State Forest. This time, the detour was quite long, and I was losing daylight quickly. After briefly speaking with a local hiker, I now knew that I would not be passing through Beartown State Forest anytime soon. Unfortunately, this now created two problems. This section was a section I had really been looking forward to with about 8 miles of trails, but also was in my consideration for camping for the evening.
I now knew that I lost a possible camping spot as well as losing some really nice trails and some amazing views. So after this, I headed north towards Stockbridge. As I was headed north towards Stockbridge, I decided to take one last chance at getting into Beartown State Forest through the North Gate. I was starting to run out of options for the evening, and my next planned stop was October Mountain, but I was not gaining any confidence and quickly losing light. As I rolled into Stockbridge, I came up a side street, and sure enough, I was turned away once again. Now, after seeing that gate closed and knowing that October Mountain was approximately 15 miles north and no promise of camping, I was starting to think it might be a good idea to turn back and head home. Although the ride would be about 2 hours, it would only guarantee one thing. I would have a bed to sleep in and not have a night under the rain.
Hey, good morning. So today is day 2 of section 3 on the Northeast BDR, and I'm going to continue on section 2 just south of I-90 in Massachusetts and work my way north towards Vermont today. So a long ways to go. On my way, headed north, and today's supposed to be mostly clear. I think there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, and I believe a high of somewhere around 50, which, depending on where you are in the country or the world watching this, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, not too bad in the Northeast US.
Today, I was very excited for a second day out on the trails. I knew things were going to be much better, but first I needed to get to October Mountain. Before I got to October Mountain, I passed through Lee, Massachusetts, which is a beautiful New England town. Shortly after coming out of town, I was headed north up to October Mountain, which was just a few miles away. Hey folks, just a quick reminder to follow local speed limits. Let's be part of what make these neighborhoods safe. The October Mountain campgrounds, although closed this time of year, look really nice, although admittedly small with not a whole lot of sites. Another nice option they have there is a couple of yurts. I'm sure you need to reserve them well in advance. So a pretty exciting trip to the top of October Mountain. Now, little did I know that when I would get to the top, there would be this awesome dam. This is the Farnham Reservoir, which actually supplies water to the city of Pittsfield here in Massachusetts. The elevation is about 1,700 feet, so probably climbed about 1,000 of those up to the top here, which was really a lot of fun. It is beautiful up here. So hands down, so far section 3 to this point, the best trails by far have been October Mountain State Park, and I'm working up the backside of the reservoir right now, and this section here is definitely technical. I wouldn't call it a rock climber's obstacle course, but you know, whatever you're used to will determine how technical this is for you. But this whole section up here in the summertime, springtime, looks like it's used for off-road vehicles. So this is open to those activities through the summertime, and I can see why this is definitely a destination. Really, really awesome up here. As I continue my way north to Mount Greylock in northern Massachusetts, once again I would strike out and hit another closed gate for the season. I was really looking forward to Mount Greylock because it's the highest point in Massachusetts as well as the best lookout across the state. I continued my way north from there and began to realize that the rain that we had received the last couple of days overnight had turned into snow as I got into Vermont. This trip has been a lot of fun, and I will admittedly say I'm also ready for spring. As I arrived in Readsboro, I was reminded once again of how great this Northeast BDR is. Getting to see the many small towns such as Readsboro, Vermont, along with all of the quaint villages of the New England area, it made me think that I need to do this once again in the springtime, and that is just around the corner.